Fun, escapist, adventure. Those are three words that I find it hard to imagine ever applying to mainstream Hollywood movies these days. Living as we do in a hyper-polarised, hyper-politicised world where everything is about scoring points against the other side and relentlessly pushing the message. It's easy to forget that movies used to provide an entertaining little distraction from the cares and worries of daily life, allowing us to escape to different countries or even different worlds, go on thrilling adventures and fight fantastical monsters. And honestly, one movie that absolutely epitomises this bygone age for me is The Mummy, the 1999 action blockbuster starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz as a pair of 1920s archaeologists slash treasure hunters who unearth the tomb of an ancient Egyptian priest and inadvertently bring him back to life, resulting in murder, mayhem and general destruction. It was a cool, fun, light-hearted adventure movie that was decent enough for its time, spawning a couple of lesser sequels and even a prequel movie series. But what's interesting is that it actually seems to have improved with age, to the point where I'd happily stack it up against any equivalent movie from the past 10 years. The film begins in ancient Egypt by introducing us to Imhotep, a high priest who gets a bit up close and personal with the pharaoh's daughter, but then the pharaoh finds out and it all goes wrong, causing him to be sealed inside a sarcophagus with flesh-eating beetles and cursed for all eternity. Damn man, these Egyptians don't fuck around. Flash forward to the 1920s, and amateur archaeologist Evelyn happens across an ancient puzzle box that points the way to the lost Egyptian city where Imhotep is now buried. It's the classic trope of an everyman, or woman in this case, called out of their mundane life to go on an epic quest and retrieve a fabulous prize. And it's proof that there's a reason we have tropes in the first place. They fucking work. Probably shouldn't spend so much time and effort trying to subvert them in that case, ya dicks. Anyway, Evelyn goes to Egypt with her brother Jonathan, and they enlist the help of American adventurer Rick O'Connell to lead them to the city. The group have to overcome various obstacles along the way, including rival treasure hunters and attacks by an ancient tribe sworn to guard Imhotep's remains. But eventually, they make it to the lost city and uncover his tomb. I love how this movie never misses a chance to throw in a little jump scare. Anyway, through a series of unfortunate events, they end up triggering the curse and bringing Imhotep back to life, and it's not long before he starts fucking things up for all concerned. Basically, his objective is to kill and consume each member of the party that was present when his tomb was opened, then use his magical powers to bring his dead girlfriend back to life and take over the entire world. I mean, it's good to have goals in life, I suppose. So needless to say, it's up to our intrepid band of adventurers to stop him, culminating in a final battle at the Lost City with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. Movies about ancient curses and Egyptian mummies being brought back to life are nothing new. Hollywood's been churning them out since the days of silent cinema, for fuck's sake. But the thing that makes this film so enjoyable is the way it blends these classic horror elements with modern action and self-awareness in a way that complements both, rather than sacrificing one to promote the other. Gunfights, fistfights, sword fights, ancient tombs, booby traps and magical books that can bring the dead back to life are all thrown together into a heady cocktail of fun and adventure that borrows more than a few elements from Indiana Jones. All of it is well shot and directed by competent people who clearly knew what they were doing, and damn, some of the action sequences are genuinely impressive even today. Yeah, the CGI is a bit sketchy in places, but honestly, I'd happily take a fun, good-natured movie with occasional visual shortcomings over the beautiful but soulless garbage being served up today. The Mummy works particularly well because it never takes itself too seriously. There's lots of fun little dialogue, quips and jokes to lighten the tone, but it also never descends into farce either. Imhotep's presented as a genuine threat with real stakes, and as you get to see throughout the movie, he's perfectly capable of fucking people up in the most unpleasant ways. The decision to set this film during the 1920s was absolutely perfect too. It was the classic age of Egyptian exploration, uncluttered by modern rules and technology, where international laws were an optional extra, and daring adventurers willing to risk life and limb could uncover treasures that could make them famous overnight. The cast and characters are all solid as well, even the members of the rival team having enough personality and screen time to make them distinct and memorable. Rick and Evie complement each other perfectly. One bookish and academic but yearning for adventure and excitement, the other jaded and cynical after experiencing the harsh reality of such a life, but gradually showing more compassion and protectiveness as circumstances force them together. This is the kind of role that Brendan Fraser was born to play, and you can tell he's really having fun with Rick O'Connell, portraying him as a capable but somewhat reluctant hero. At one point he even has to rescue Evie from Imhotep just when she's about to be sacrificed. Damn, how many movies today would allow that to happen? All of these different elements, the action and adventure, the snarky humour, the exotic setting, the over-the-top antagonist, the epic set pieces, and the colourful cast of characters that play so easily off each other instead of being forced into roles they're totally unsuited to, it all adds up to the kind of light-hearted escapist fun that Hollywood used to be so good at. It's a film I've rewatched multiple times and enjoyed just as much as the first time I saw it more than 20 years ago. And if you're in the mood for a modern take on an old story, you can definitely do a lot worse than The Mummy. Just try to forget about Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.